All right, so we're recording, and I think more people are going to sign on as we go, but it's 9:05, so I'm just going to get started. Guys, this is Caroline Nathan. She is one of my success partners, and she's awesome. She is also a 2015 Premier Coach, a two-star Diamond, and she's currently ranked number 14 in the entire company, which is really, really cool. Last month, she recruited 27 new coaches, which is just insane. To give you a comparison, I don't even have 27 personally sponsored coaches. So she's ridiculous. She also has 17,000 Instagram followers, which I think is so cool. So she really knows what she's doing, coaching for 2 years. And she's awesome. She lives in Orlando. And she also has a full-time job where she works like upward of 60 hours a week. As something fancy for Golf Network on NBC. So, she's going to talk to us about recruiting and getting started. So, go ahead.
I'm going to share my screen. All right. Hit present. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
I'm going to mute everyone, Caroline.
All right, sounds good. Just keep in mind that I can't see the right part of my screen, so if I don't read something entirely, I'll send you guys the PowerPoint.
Hold on. Am I muted? No, okay. Before I mute myself, if you have any questions, you can either type in the chat or send it to me on Facebook at the end, and I will ask Caroline the questions for you guys. Okay, now I'm muting myself.
In my business is seeing someone present something that worked really, really well.
Wait, Caroline, start over. You were muted for the beginning of that.
Oh.
Right,
now I'm muted. Am I unmuted now? Okay, good. So I wanted to preface this because the number one mistake I've ever made coaching, and it's a big one in my opinion, is watching something that works really, really well for someone else and changing my entire system to do what they presented on. So if you see things tonight that you're like, oh, I want to try that, take nuggets and see like where you can implement things and try it out. But I really highly suggest not changing everything you're doing because it's not going to be as like you, if that makes sense. And I really wasted a lot of time and effort and got frustrated with myself trying to do systems that just didn't work with my style. And if nothing I say tonight sounds like it would work for you, maybe try a couple things, but don't feel like you need to do everything. So I always like to preface that because I made a huge mistake last year trying to do that all the time. So recruiting, getting coaches started right. I had a very high percentage of my coaches that signed up in January hit Success Club last month. My Success Club base in 2015 was 2, which means like your average PS coach is hitting Success Club every month is 2. Last month I had 15. So they usually have a goal of you to double it. Corporate does. So this is my new system that I've done that has worked really well for me. So we'll go here. This is what I suggest. I post on my like page 2 to 3 times a day. I don't have my new coaches get like pages. I don't know what Jordan has. You guys do. But I think it's too overwhelming for new coaches unless you're like one of those people. I occasionally get a new coach who like already had their like page and they're all about it. But if you are just signing up, I wouldn't worry about like pages. I, as been coaching for 2 years, struggle with my like page, so don't worry about that. But for me, I post 2 to 3 times a day on my like page. I post a lot on my personal page, 3 to 5 times, and on Instagram 1 to 3. That sometimes varies. Sometimes my personal page will be 2 times. Sometimes it will be like 8 times, but I try to go in the 3 to 5 range. Instagram is usually 1 to 3. And I'll get into this later, but I usually message the next day every single person who has liked or commented a post on my Facebook. And I wait till the next day because I'm sure you guys see it too. Like you'll wake up and people who have trickled in from the night before have commented and liked, and you don't want to miss those people. And then on Instagram, I do 531 invites, which if you don't know what that is, we can cover it later. 531 invites to anyone who comments on my pictures. I know some people do it for people who like. I get like 300 to 400 likes on my pictures, and so many of those are like Instagrass or spam or whatever, and it's not, I don't have all the time in the world to go through and figure out if those people are real. So if I had endless hours, then I totally would do that. But for me, I found that it's not conducive to my time to be going through all those and just messaging the like people. So I just focus on people who comment on my pictures. And followers too. All right, social media. So I do a lot of raw, emotional, embarrassing posts. If you follow me or you're friends with me, I post about my dating life a lot, my non-existent dating life. But the post on the right, I asked out a guy that I actually really wanted to go on a date with, and he said no. And it was like super embarrassing. And then I was like, I'm Mia. And I wrote as if I was writing to a best friend. So I said like, so I totally, with like 7 L's, put myself out there and like just said wasn't a whole essay, but I just said like, as if I was going to say like a text message to my best friend. And there were like 253 likes, 53 comments. There was like messages coming in like crazy to me. But people really relate to that. And like, even if someone's really happy in a relationship, like everyone's either had a broken heart or asked someone out or wanted to be asked out. Like we're all the same in that general sense. So people can relate to that. And obviously this isn't like a join my challenge post, but these are the kind of posts where when that person's ready to make the decision, they're going to be like, I really relate to Caroline versus like, let me just go buy on Amazon. So these are the kind of posts that I drip in a lot. And I don't plan any of my posts. I really just like sit there and whatever I'm doing at that moment. But this happened that day and I was like really proud of myself. So I posted about it. I wouldn't post this if I was like crying, if that makes sense. The only time I post things where I'm upset is if like some of my family member passes away, because there's no really positive in that. Like I'm not going to be able to find a positive in like someone passing away. Or like I recently visited my grandmother who doesn't know who I am. Like she completely lost any knowledge of any of us. And it was really hard. And I posted about that, but there's nothing, if you see a lot of my posts, I do the, why are you smiling? I couldn't do that on that post, nor would I want to. That's not like real. And I think people relate to that too. Like they relate that like not everything is going to be a positive. There's going to be some things in your life that are just really tough and suck, and are negative. That's like an example of something that like you really can't, nor should you find a positive. This is an example of something that you can find a positive. And if you complain and bitch about it on Facebook, people are going to hit unfollow. It's kind of blunt, but like, these are like little things that like someone who just like lost custody of their kid and they see me complaining about asking a guy out are going to be like, I don't want to deal with her. But if they just lost custody of their kid and then see me making it into a positive, they're going to be like, I want to follow that girl. So that's just an example of like posting that raw emotional stuff, turning into a positive. But then again, like, as I said, like you don't want to be turning things into a positive that really can't be. These are the same 2 things that I posted that had a lot of good reaction, a lot of messages. On the left, I have this thing called the smile rule in my life, where if I'm having a bad day, I literally will smile all day long. Because try it, honestly, try it. If you smile like during everything all day long, you naturally feel better. Like you can't be upset when you're like feeling this all day long. So I posted about that. I had a ton of likes and comments and messages of people being like, oh my God, that really did work. So that's like another good example of like, I just honestly like wasn't feeling that great. And I was sitting on the couch all day, like feeling like miserable. And then I was like, done, smile effect. And that's the only thing I think I posted about that day, because I just truly like couldn't like bring myself to like meal prep or anything like that. So that's an example of like, if you're having a bad day and you have one bright spot, post about that bright spot. Don't post about all the other negative crap things going on. On the right, we all have haters, whether they're social media people, your family, or someone doesn't support you in some aspect. So I just posted about haters on the right. This like random girl was stalking me on Facebook. And I was like getting all these haters and I was like really upset. And then I was like, hold on, like Taylor Swift has millions of haters and she's totally fine. So I can be too. And that moment I realized that I was like, I'm going to post about it, because all week long I had posted screenshots of this girl like harassing me from her cat's account. And so people were like following this story. And then I posted this like 200 likes. Obviously like you don't post that, it doesn't happen to you. But I think we all have some kind of haters, or we have some kind of someone who doesn't support us. So like if your family doesn't support you, like you could turn that into a positive post. And don't turn it into a positive post if you can't see the positive, like you want it to be natural. but really do like everything. Think of the positive. Like there's always positive. Like I'm gonna do an example of this. I don't know your family situation, so I'm just making this up because she's the first one on my screen. So Emily, let's say Emily's sister doesn't support her at all, and she gets really bummed out that she really loves coaching and she doesn't support her, but she talks to Jordan about it and Jordan makes her feel better. You can turn that into a post about how awesome your coach is and how you can always go to them for anything, doesn't need to be coaching related. So like that's just like an example. Like I always try to throw that kind of stuff in, like because I talk to my coaches about things that aren't coaching related at all, and I post about it because, and I'm sure you guys do too, like we're not just robots, we're not just health and fitness. So that's just like an example of how you can share your struggles in a positive way. Again, these aren't posts of people being like, I want to join your challenge group now, but they're relating to you so that when you do post the challenge group now post, they come to you versus Amazon, Craigslist, or the other coach on the newsfeed or some ad that shows up. I constantly drip in coaching into my posts. My planner, my notebook, my laptop are always like in the picture. I do have like 24/7 all this stuff sitting near me, so it's generally just there when I take pictures, but not like huge long essays. Just use on the right, I said just building my empire on the couch tonight, just missing some Moscato and a cute boy. That was literally what I thought at that moment, so I typed it. I made sure that my laptop was in the view because it was on my lap, but I don't, and that kind of thing with like the building my empire on a Friday night, like I wanted them to see a notebook or a laptop or something like that. On the right, that was my reaction to someone telling me that they can't coach because they don't have areas in their apartment for a desk. And I told them I generally work on the floor, which I do because I can spread things out. And they said they didn't believe me. So that night I posted this post. It has nowhere it says something about desk or anything, but I'm clearly sitting on the floor working. And I just got off a call and I was so happy. So that's just like an example, like objection. And that person messaged me the next day and was like, so I saw your post. I guess you do work on the floor. So people do watch your posts, and you don't need to respond to objection that day, but like any objection you get, like I write them in a notebook so that like later when I'm doing something that proves that objection wrong, I can take a picture and post about it. Because those people, the haters, are watching you. Just two more examples of just not long, like they're short captions. I tried at my best to keep captions where you don't have to hit more info or more, or whatever it is where you have to hit more. I try to do it so that someone just scrolling will see it without having to hit that. Left this whole Starbucks debate started on my thread. My throat was sore, so everyone started commenting back and forth about Starbucks, and it drove it up in news feeds. And I had a lot of people be like, oh, wait, you're in a hotel room? Like, why are you in a hotel room? And then I talked about New Leader Conference with Beachbody. So with those kind of things, when you go to Summit, make sure you post about Summit and like don't wait till you leave to post about Summit. Too many people wait till they leave. You could have turned in so many days while you're there. Or if you go to a team retreat, or you go to a Super Saturday, or you go meet up for ice cream with a coach. And just make sure you take pictures of those things. Every little thing does matter when you're doing like some kind of thing like that. The right side, I think the only thing I said was chatting with my besties with my laptop right there. And I actually had someone message me to sign up from that post and was like, I didn't realize you can just like coach whenever you want. And I'm sure she's probably saw other posts, but like that struck for her. So again, just like trying to drip in like my laptop or my notebook in posts where it's just like my selfie. Something that Melanie Mitro said at New Leader Conference, which are on videos, I'm not sure if you guys have seen them, is your body is your business. Too many people like skip their workout or eat poorly on a regular basis. And it's one thing, we all fall off. We all, on the left, you can see I fell off when I was on vacation. But I wrote about how the 21-day fix, and they never said 21-day fix, so I didn't want them to go buy it somewhere else. But I showed that it works because if you get right back on it, the bloat leaves. Like most people would just fall right back off when they come back from vacation. I came back and one day later. I think I sold like 8 challenge packs from that post. So I admitted that I fell off, but then one day later, I posted a picture on the left and then the right picture was the next day. But I had so many people be like, wow, like you can go on vacation and come back and it works again. And I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when you eat clean. But so many people purchase challenge packs from that. So when you do fall off, you can admit that. Like Jordan's post this weekend, like that was awesome post where she was like real about the last couple of days. Like we're human, people are human. They're going to relate to that. If she had not posted her pictures, people may have missed her post from earlier in the week and then been like, oh, I guess she's still doing it. Like, oh, okay, whatever. Like people relate to you being real. No one's perfect. They don't want to like have a perfect coach. The post on the right was just me taking selfies. I clearly just worked out. I was sweaty. So clearly people are just seeing me on the newsfeed if they're scrolling by that I'm working out. I try to mix in like posts saying that I'm doing hammer and chisel. I try to mix in, like, I do talk about hammer and chisel, but I also try to mix in, like, I take a ton of selfies. Things that like people do, they just don't really talk about. Like I definitely spent 12 minutes taking selfies. I always see people being like, oh, I took a couple selfies. And I was like, I sit there and take 10 minutes of selfies. So if you sit there and take 10 minutes of selfies like I do, then post about it, because I know there are other people that do that and they lie and say they take like 2 selfies. Just little things like that will make you more relatable. If you have a lot of self-control and you don't take 12 minutes of selfies, then don't post about it. I don't. I probably spend more time taking selfies than working out. Same thing with this. Just like little things make the difference. Like I was on the build plan for hammer and chisel for like 5 days, and then I went back to the regular plan. But I was eating 42 bell peppers a week with the build plan, and I was like, I think Jordan's done one with the carrots. Like if you're eating a lot of one thing, because it's cheaper that way too, you can post about that. Like hold up the 2 bags of carrots, or if you only, I hope you don't, but if you only have cottage cheese for your protein, besides Shakeology, then you can like do a huge tub of cottage cheese and be like, I eat all of this in 1 week. I don't know. I mean, I only have bell peppers for my vegetable, but so many people messaged me and was like, I gotta know what the heck you're doing that you're eating that many bell peppers. If you only have frozen grapes for your fruit, then you can like hold up like 6 bags of frozen grapes. People will message you when it's like something weird like that. Like people will be like, what? You actually get to eat a lot of food? You're not just like starving yourself? I stole like 6 hammer and chisel challenge packs from that post, from people messaging me from that 42 bell peppers. I personally do, if you work a full-time job, I do, or really anybody, everyone's busy, I do a hammer and chisel album where I just upload, you can see like just images of my food throughout the day. It's nothing fancy. It's like a wrap and blueberries and Shakeology. But I eat it at my desk, and I purposely show that because I want people to see like this is easy. You don't need like a chef. You don't need a kitchen all day. Like it's super easy, and they'll see the results in my posts. But I've had, I think like 3 or 4 people like comment to me when they signed up and said that they really didn't think that the meal plan was that easy until they saw my album. So I try my best to add a couple pictures a day of just showing like, it really is that easy. Like I eat at my desk, I put it together at my desk. It's not that hard. Sunday night coach opportunity posts. I highly recommend that you post every Sunday night or whatever night you choose. I choose Sunday because people are dreading going back to work on Monday. I posted for 7 months straight and not a single person signed up from the posts. So don't give up after like 3 months of doing it, because too many people are like, after 3 months, are like, this isn't working. I'm not going to do this anymore. Well, you just lost all those people that are watching you every single Sunday. Now every Sunday I have people sign up. But again, for 7 months, not a single person. I would get like 3 likes on posts. For this post, this could easily have been a challenge group post instead of a coach opportunity post. But I flipped it into a coach opportunity post. I talked about the support that we get as a coach, the accountability, the team atmosphere, my weight difference, all of that in there. Easily could have been a challenge group invite, but I turned it into the coach opportunity. And this posted very well. Many people signed up from this post, but I love the people that sign up from this post because nowhere in this post did I mention financials. I really think the financial aspect is a great part of the business. I also think a lot of people see that and think get quick rich scheme in their mind, even though we all say like Beachbody does not guarantee whatever the heck it was. But when people sign up, I don't know it that well, I just copy and paste. But the people who sign up from this are all about the team atmosphere. And trust me, they're wanting to hit Success Club just as much and they want to earn their Shakeology, but they didn't go in thinking like, she said that she just bought her plane ticket to LA on it. I want to be able to buy a plane ticket to LA next week. People don't get it that like you're not going to make that money right away unless you're like amazing and you can make $700 in your first week. Which I'm sure maybe occasionally will happen. But I really did like this post because, again, it could easily have been a challenge group post. This is a different one, kind of similar, but someone just like saying, are you looking for more in your life? I had posted this coach opportunity right after I had posted something earlier that day about how coaching helped me financially. So it wasn't directly related to the financial aspect of it, but earlier in the day, I'd posted something about how I was able to afford my laptop being fixed on Christmas Eve because of coaching. And then like 2 hours later, I posted this. So it was like a timing thing. So again, I didn't mention financials, but people had just seen that. And a lot of times I've been told by new coaches, they see this post, the coaching opportunity, and then they scan through my page and see my other posts. So the first post they would have seen after this, people interested, would have been the financial one. So it's like giving them those hints without directly saying it within the post. All right, run my own sneak peek. Jordan, Megan, and I, as I'm sure you guys know, run a sneak peek 3 days, 2 times posts. The biggest mistake I ever did was wait till I was a 2-star diamond to start making my own videos. Like unacceptable, my bad. It's totally up to like you guys and Jordan when you want to start making your own videos for coach sneak peeks. I let coaches decide when they're most comfortable, but I definitely would not have I don't know what my coach was thinking. I would definitely not have a 2-star diamond in my sneak peek. I told one of my diamonds that when she hits diamond, or one of my coaches that's about to hit diamond, that she'll be making her own sneak peek just because at close to diamond is when you start to get those leadership stuff going. But just if you feel comfortable doing your own sneak peek, maybe Jordan will help you. I don't know, whatever you guys feel comfortable. I just know that I waited too long because people want to hear from you, not necessarily your upline or myself or Megan or Jordan. You know what I mean? Like people really like to hear from you. So I just know that I waited too long. But definitely don't be a 2-star diamond doing it because I was still doing that last fall at 2-star, and that's just unacceptable. So that's all I got to say on that one. So I pretty much, when I said earlier in the presentation that I message anyone who likes my posts, I message them for the coaching opportunity. I truly feel that every post I make and that I can like justify it to someone is related to coaching in some aspect. Very rarely, like, unfortunately, I just had one of my best friends commit suicide. Like that's like the only example that comes to my mind. Like I'm not going to message people who like that post about the coaching opportunity. Like that's an exception. My full-time job kind of post, that's an exception. Otherwise, everything else, whether it's Shakeology or me dancing in my kitchen or me on a Zoom, I can somehow tie that into coaching and how it's like benefited me. And so I will invite to the coaching opportunity. This is me personally. So I'll say like, hey, Jordan, how are you doing? I saw you just got a new golden retriever. She looks so cute. Thank you so much for liking my coach opportunity post. Are you interested in more information on joining my team? I've never had a single person say, I never liked a coach opportunity post. A lot of people have said to me, yeah, you know what? I've been like watching you for a while. I've been too scared to message you. Or yeah, I'd be interested in more information. Or what the heck is coaching? Or what are you talking about? But I'd love to know, you know what I mean? Or sure. Or what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like I've never had someone be like, I didn't like a coach opportunity post. So I really do message everyone about coach opportunity posts or coach opportunity because truly, so I enrolled 42 coaches in January. And I think probably like 30 of those coaches told me that, like, I messaged them like this, and like they had never reached out to me or anything like that. Like they never, on the coach opportunity, like the actual Sunday night ones, I never messaged those. Like they were people who were liking other things. And in the past, I used to say like, hey Jordan, how are you doing? That's a time waster, like in my opinion now. Like I don't know why I did that for so long. Or I'd say like, hey Jordan, thanks so much for liking my post about Shakeology, or information. Are you interested in more information on Shakeology? And then be like, whatever. Coaching is so much different, as I'm sure you guys know too, because like you can get the challenge group aspect if you want to, or you can get the financial aspect, or you get the team aspect, or there's all these different aspects you can get from coaching. And I realized that by messaging people originally just about challenge group, I was missing out on a lot of people who wanted the coaching and just was too afraid to ask. So that's how I do it. I really never get, like, I get pushback obviously when we get more into it, but I've never had someone say like, no, I didn't like that post. I'm sure they'll come and they'll be a hater and I'll just shake it off. If someone's interested in signing up with a challenge pack and is unsure of whether to sign up as a customer or coach, I typically say, if you want to get in the best shape of your life, have the greatest support and accountability system around, get a 25% discount on Shakeology, and possibly make an extra income if you want. This is an amazing opportunity. If you don't, that's okay, and you can sign up just as a customer. I don't know, it works pretty well. I don't like say word for word every time, but like generally the same thing. I also stress to people who are like, well, I just want to start with the challenge group. I say that's totally awesome, but it's the same price. And this way, if any of your friends are interested, I'll be able to immediately help you walk them through ordering. If you're just a customer, then you'd have to refer them to me and I would get the commission. That also helps too. So I do sign up a lot of discount coaches that way. And I've had a lot more people like stay. I've had a lot of people who start with the challenge group stay on when they're already signed up than when they just get the challenge back and then they like are easily can cancel and all that stuff. They seem to stay on longer with my coach group. Do you want me to get into getting started to write or no? Yeah? You're unmuted. Are you muted?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I don't know why it's so big on the screen, but that's okay. I'll talk about it. So immediately, for me personally, immediately after a coach enrolls, I set up a one-on-one call with them, ideally in the next 24 hours. I use Acuity scheduling, which I think like every top coach uses. It's free. I put in my hours that I want to talk to someone and they just schedule. If I send them that link and they never respond to me, then I treat them as a discount coach. Usually they schedule. If they no-show, then if they no-show and they're like, oh my God, I forgot, then I do videos with them before I schedule another call. I'm not going to like keep scheduling, but I rarely have no-shows. So we do a call and I talk about their why, the 3 vitals, what kind of coach they want to be, Success Club, and Emerald. It's like super simple, just the pure basics. Oh yeah, I add them to my coach group, sorry. Add them to my coach group, add them to my free fitness group. I don't know if you guys do a free fitness group, but that's like a big part of how I'm successful. But I add them to my coach group, the fitness group. They're not already part of it, but they usually are. But yeah, so I talk about their why, 3 vitals, what kind of coach they want to be, Success Club, and Emerald. Keep it very basic, but also stress that like if they hit Success Club, they're getting back what they paid for the challenge pack. I used to be like too afraid to talk about it, I think, and I'd have coaches not really go for it or not really understand it. And now I talk about it openly because they will pay for their challenge pack. Like who doesn't want to pay for their challenge pack? And like that's their first like win as a coach. Like if they hit Success Club their first month, I feel like they're more willing to like really try for it their second month versus if you don't really, I always viewed it myself as like I'm robbing them the opportunity to really go after this business if I don't talk about Success Club versus I used to be like, that's icky. Like Success Club drives this business. They signed up for a reason. They want to do well in this business. You're robbing them of that opportunity if you don't talk about it. So that's how I view it in my eyes when I like don't want to talk about it. I have to remind myself. Cause I know it's like hard. You don't want to like seem salesy, but it's really not. And I talk about like the Carl call and the free ticket to Summit they can earn. And then the incentives that Beachbody gives per month for Success Club and how awesome it is et cetera, et cetera. Immediately after the first call, I send them this quick coach reference PDF document called my Blue Bus Plan. None of you need to write any of this down. If you want to, but Jordan has all access to all this stuff. It's called a Blue Bus Plan document. I don't know if anyone works in event planning, but basically the Blue Bus Plan is if I was hit by a blue bus tomorrow, my coaches would be able to excel based off this document and what's in the coach group. So it just includes like coach relations info, how to find their coach ID, the Facebook groups that they're in, schedule of team calls, events coming up, the next coach basics, recommended personal development books, tips for posting on social media, everyday new coach goals, explanation of the 3 vitals. I took out how to set up EFT because I accidentally didn't tell a coach how to set it up, and her husband was not supportive, and the check showed up and he was the one that got the mail, and he was like, wait, you're like making like real money from this. Like it was like $32 or something. And so yes, they take the $3 fee out. I make sure they set it up after that first check, but I think there's something really special about like holding a check in your hands versus just going to direct deposit. So even if you have everyone's super supportive, like that's a really cool first check to like hold in your hands. Like that's the start of your business. So I took EFT out. If they really get on me about the $3 fee, I'll give them the $3 fee. But I think the check is really, I think I would have done great for me if I like got a check versus EFT the first time. All right, so then I sent a series of videos one by one to the coaches. So like I would send the first one to Emily. Hey, Emily, here's the first video. Let me know, watch the first 10 minutes of the video and let me know your takeaways from like how to develop a strong why. It's like an hour-long video, but I keep it to 10 minutes. And I don't push, drag, babysit, anything related to that to coaches. I've had coaches that I sent that video to 2 coaches last week. One person never has messaged me back, and the other finished all 9 videos in one night. It just depends on what kind of coach that person wants to be, and maybe they're not ready to do it right now as they thought they would. But I'm not going to remind coaches. Now, if I send video number 1 and then they respond to me and they ask me how to invite on Facebook, then I'm going to say back, hey, that's actually covered in video number 5. How's video number 1 going? Then that's when I'll ask about it. But if they never ask me again about video number 1, they only ask about like nutrition questions, I'm not going to like babysit them on them. They're in the coach group. If they really want to do something, if they show up on a coach group call, then I'll like ask again. But if they never mention anything about coaching, I'm not going to push them because I have enough coaches who really want this. And that's my opinion. And like, honestly, if you have to convince someone to coach, you're always going to have to convince them to coach, and that's not fun. So they sign up for a reason. They'll come around when it's a good time for them, but you don't want to be like babysitting coaches. After the 9th video of like all those videos, like more Facebook and Instagram, we have another call to go over the challenge pack script for the challenge pack that they purchased. Usually it's 21-day fix, and go through Instagram inviting. And then I send 3 more videos one by one, understanding rank advancements, what Success Club, and team cycling. And after the 12th video, we have another call to go over Success Club, Emerald rank, and team cycling. Success Club is like really stressed in my coach group and in like a message thread I have. So typically they hear about it a lot, but I still like them to see. These are corporate videos, like Michael Neiman, who like gets really animated and explains it way better than me. So I really like the corporate videos for those ones. They're like 2 minutes and they're explained really well. Currently I have Coach Basics starting the 1st and 3rd Monday of every month. They have to complete at least the first call to join. The videos obviously are like longer, so whatever for those, but they at least have to do at least a call with me. It's a Coach Basics. It's 30 days in assignment every day. I used to only have it 5 days a week, and recently I've had coaches ask me to make Saturday and Sunday assignments, which is honestly the first time I've ever had people be like, I want more assignments. I have a participation board in Coach Basics, so like every day I'll have like a little board like Jordan 4, Emily 3, Caroline 0. And so like every time that's posted, trust me, the people who aren't at the top of the leaderboard go to the assignments and see what they missed and commented. because it's like kind of like a recognition thing. Like they want to be at the top of the leaderboard. They're really revolved around hitting Success Club. Not as many videos, more assignments for them to post on social media, which was changed from like what I used to do. So these are examples. You don't need to write these down because Jordan has access to the Google Doc. But basically just like post on social media something raw and real about yourself, or post a poll or question. People love to give their opinion about Netflix, or 2 dresses that you're thinking about wearing, or 2 different sneakers, or asking people what workout you should do on Friday. I typically suggest that you do a poll not related to fitness and nutrition, because we post so much about that just naturally. Like if you're a Valentine's Day date or something and you weren't sure what dress to wear, even if you were sure what dress to wear, if you had 2, just like post about it. Like if you're really that like pressed on what to post about, or if you're getting a new dog and you can't decide what kind of dog or something like that. People love to give their opinion. I just wouldn't do politics or religion, because you're just going to create fights, especially right now. With the Supreme Court justice dying, like it's every time I see a political post, I just keep on scrolling. And that's what people, honestly, like I've unfollowed people based on one post this week, and you don't want people unfollowing you based on one post. So I would highly, even if I'm a political science, religious studies double major, you'll never see that on my page. You would have no idea that's my majors in college, because you will lose so many people, and you don't want to lose people that in every other aspect you agree with, but in politics you don't. For that, they could be the next 5-star diamond on your team. So just leave politics out of it. I've seen my coaches lose coaches on a team because of politics. So, and I just have a pinned post in my coach group that has the same kind of information as the new coach PDF. It's the calls listed for the week, reminder of what Success Club is and how to hit it, reminder that you need 90 HD PV to hit Success Club. Last month I had 2 coaches get 6 points but not have HD PV 90, only have 90 PV, like didn't put it on home direct, and they didn't hit Success Club officially by like Beachbody standards. So I like am anal and rewind on my coaches every month, and I still have people miss it, but just remember that HD PV, not just 90 PV. Power hour schedule, the link to book a call with me, upcoming challenge groups they can invite to, upcoming training group schedule, upcoming sneak peek, team leader mastermind session schedule. I updated it every like weekend before, so like I updated it yesterday for this week, and coaches know to reference it. And this really like covers me. So if a coach like messages me something basic, I can literally say, did you check the pin post, the new coach document, the FAQ, or the coach group? Because one of those 4 places will have the answer. I've never had someone ask me a question that I know isn't on one of those 4 documents. And not like in a mean way, but I'm sure you guys do too. You don't want people messaging you all the time. People need to be more self-sufficient. And then recognition, Jordan does this really well. I just recognize new coaches who, on my wall, who hit Success Club or earn Emerald or Diamond. Success Club boards twice a week in my group. And I also like to shout out like small accomplishments. We have this, just like you guys probably have big team calls with like our upline coaches. My like upline team is called Team Boom. We have like huge hundreds of people on the call. And one of my new coaches talked on the call, and that's like big for her to talk on something with hundreds of people on it. So I like shouted her out for asking a question on there. Coaches that complete Coach Basics in full, when someone helps someone with the first challenge pack or coach. Because I think Success Club is obviously really important, but I see so often other coaches gloss over everyone else who's like really working hard and like doing those small things that eventually will get them to Success Club, and just focusing on people hitting Success Club. And I didn't complete Coach Basics until my 8th month as a coach. I didn't get on a team call until my 9th month as a coach. I never completed like any program till like my 10th month as a coach. So people who've been coaches for 2 weeks and get on a Team Boom call and talk, like I'm going to shut that out. So people just repeat the actions they're recognized for. Most people, I mean, even if someone says they're not driven by recognition, they are in some aspect. We're all driven, some more than others, but we're all driven somewhat by recognition. You like when you see your name tagged in a coach group. So that's basically what I got. Any questions?
I'm unmuting people. Thank you for doing that for us. Wait, no, I meant to unmute everybody. Sorry, hold on. Ha ha. Okay, thank you so much for talking, Caroline. Caroline and I will be doing a couple more like group things together. I think we were talking about doing maybe a push to diamond later on, and a few other things. But does anyone have any questions for Caroline? I said 27 new coaches in January. She's casual like 42. No big deal.
Right. No big deal.
I don't like, it's like an awkward thing to talk about. So I honestly didn't realize it until corporate told me the other day. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, she like doesn't even tell us. Like we have a group chat for that we like don't even just, I mean, we talk about everything, not just Beachbody. And it's like hours later, we're finally like, Caroline, so you're number 14 in the country, like the company, like you could tell us, you know, we don't need to like have to like Google it. I see it on my wall. All right, guys. Sorry, any questions? No.
It's like remember you. Like
What in the world is that?
Someone's in a car. I don't know. I don't know what that was. But just remember to be you. And this is not like, it's not directed to your team at all. I just like say this to everyone I talk to. Is I more frequently now, and I was talking to Jordan about it a couple weeks ago, have seen people straight up copy entire texts of posts. It looks really, really bad and people notice. Don't ever do it. If you see a post really like, screenshot it and then figure out how it relates to your life and rewrite it in a sense that it's your life. But never, I literally have seen people completely copy word for word posts. And sometimes people have told me it's not as bad because it's like a general statement. It's bad. It's someone else's words. You would get
your voice, like we all talk differently. Like you can tell what someone else's voice.
In college if you did that. And I try to say it to people. But then it's like really bad for that, but it's also really, really bad if you're copying and pasting something where it talks about like two boys and you have a girl and a boy. Like just don't do it. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Just don't do it. And that's not directed at you guys at all. Like it's not directed at you guys at all. But I just like to just stress it to everyone I possibly talk to because you don't want to accidentally have that happen in any aspect. So just make sure, like if you like a post, just screenshot it and just like make it way into more you and your tone and all that jazz. Obviously, we're all going to have similar posts, but not word for word because people do. There was a word for word. There was a coach on a different team that like my team knew who copied word for word something that Bonnie Engel posted. And there was like a long thread going. There was like 12 people from my team and another team and someone else's team that we're like all friends with talking about how this one girl copied word for word. Like that's like, you don't want to be the coach. Like no post is word.
Pretty high up too, wasn't she? Like she's pretty high ranking, I feel like. So yeah.
Yeah, like I mean like you probably won't get caught if you're like a coach, but this coach who copied and pasted was a 6-star diamond. Like you're gonna get caught if you're doing that, and it looks really bad. And technically, is there anything wrong against that with compliance? No, but you don't want your peers to think of you as someone who copies people's posts. Like that doesn't sit well when you're all above emerald, basically. So that's my little spiel.
Caroline, you said that you would go over the 5-3-1s. You want to give just like a brief, like you were Instagram before you came to Facebook. So like, can you maybe talk a little bit about Instagram to Facebook and cause you get like 99% of your coaches and customers from Instagram. So.
Yeah. I haven't listened to the recording today, so sorry if I contradict what they said on National Wake Up Call, but 5-3-1s are where you go to, does everyone have their phone? All their phone? All right. Do we all have,
what is that?
It's Emily. I don't know what she's doing.
Emily's muted.
She wasn't for a second. I don't know. All right. Everyone on their phone. So we're going to go to search. We're going to go to tag TIU, like T as in Tom, I as in Ingrid, U as in, I don't know, TIU mermaids. So type in TIU mermaids. And once you get a TIU mermaids, go to the most recent.
Hey, you're on the top post.
Oh, nice. So the most recent should be like a laundry basket. Click that.
Nope.
Oh, that's one of my coaches. Next one. So this is a good example. So like the laundry basket, select that. So like you go to her page.
Oh, top post too. Wait, I'm not seeing the laundry basket.
Go to recent. You're on top of posts.
No, I'm not. I'm most recent.
Hit refresh.
I did.
TIU Mermaids? I see you, but there's
I see no laundry basket.
What's the first post you see? Oh, that's so weird. It's one right, but that's so weird. Anyways, all right. So the TIU question one.
Yeah.
That's the second one on mine. Okay, so go to that girl's page, Catchy TIU. TIU newbie since August 14th, 2015, class of 2016, 21, signed up for a Tune It Up challenge. So you'd go through her pictures, and we're seeing because some people are coaches and they don't advertise it. So you're going through her thing, and it doesn't look like she's a coach. So on her most recent picture, I'm going to say, or hold on. So I'm going to like 3 pictures. I'm going to like her pizza picture. I'm going to like another, I already liked her picture. Instagram already liked her pictures. So I'm not really going to be able to like because I already liked them. So I'm going to like 3 pictures. I'm going to comment on 2. So like her pizza picture saying, this looks so good. Hopefully this girl never sees this video. Then her leggings picture saying, these leggings are so cute. This is an example. Just things that like spam couldn't auto comment. Like these are not things that auto comment could happen. Then on her most recent picture, I'll say at Catchy TIU, I love your Instagram, but it's so hard to connect on here. Do you have Facebook? My Facebook link is in my IG bio if you do hope to connect. So I'm about to post this and you can see what I write. All right. So I just posted on her most recent picture if you want to like see what I was talking about while I was like mumbling it. So that's what I write on people's pages that don't look like they're a coach and that I want to invite. Usually I look at their page a little bit longer than we did. I just want to bore you. I don't copy and paste that little blurb into Notepad because when you type it out, you're obviously going to say a couple words differently. And I used to copy and paste and get blocked after like 3 comments. So yes, it takes, but you're going to get blocked really fast if you're copying and pasting the same thing. So that's just like an example of what I would do. I generally don't follow them unless I really, really, really want them to be a coach, because then you're going to end up following like 12,000 people and 1% of them will be on your team. Like so if I saw her playing golf, I would follow her in a second. If Jordan saw that she was in medical school, she probably would follow her. I don't know what Jordan does, but
I don't. I'm in med school.
What?
But I don't do anything else. I'm in med school.
So yeah, like I'm not gonna follow her because she's mostly just posting Tune It Up pictures. So like that's an example of a 531. Usually I take longer to look at their page. If they look like they could be working with a coach, like if you find them doing 21 Day Fix, but they're not a coach, they don't say they're a coach, I always ask, whatever, at Why Are You Smiling? Hey, are you a coach? Or are you working with a coach? Because I don't want to ever appear that I'm stealing someone else's customer. And even though you're not with that intention, people will spin it however they want to spin it, and you don't want to get in trouble. So just always ask if they have a coach. They'll either respond, usually, yes, I'm working with, and they'll tag the person, or they'll say, no, what's a coach? Or they'll say, no, I don't have a coach. I never heard something else. If they don't want a coach, they'll say it in their subject line, and then I don't like invite them. But I just search like hashtags, some like TIU, which is a program on Instagram that is easily transferable to 21 Day Fix. Like many people that do TIU also do 21 Day Fix. So I do that. I also invite off of Orlando hashtags, Gilmore Girls hashtags, Lily Pulitzer hashtags, Golden Retrievers of Instagram hashtags. Like I'll search them and then find people that I like. Tri Sigma, which is my sorority. Just things that are like me, or like things that I like. I'm not gonna I don't know. If I find someone that I recently found someone that I thought would be a great coach, but she was in law school, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to relate to like this schedule, and I have a coach on my team that's in law school. So I screenshotted it and sent it to her. Everyone on your team like relates to the volume. Obviously, you don't want to give coaches away that often, but like if you see someone that would be a great fit for your team, but you know that you just like wouldn't mesh as well with someone else, like maybe you talk to them about it. Like, I don't know. It just depends on how you guys do it, but they work really well together. They both do Tone It Up, and they're both in law school. And I don't do Tone It Up, and I'm not in law school. So that's just like an example. It rarely happens to me, but sometimes I'm just like, I don't even not even gonna try to explain, because she wanted to like be able to do Tone It Up within 21 Day Fix, and it was like, I don't know how to do that. But I do about 20 quality invites like that on Instagram. I'm all about quality over quantity. You want to take time to look at people's pages. I always think to myself, would I want to talk to this person at 11:30 p.m. at night, and or would I want to go on vacation with this person? You don't want to invite some like random guy that looks like, I had someone comment on my page today. Let me find the post if I can find it. Oh, so I posted something about being like 14 in the company, and this guy commented about how he loves Beachbody, and I said, oh, are you a coach? And he said, no, I'm not a coach. I'm not a paid headhunter. And then I like already knew what he meant, and I was like, I'm not gonna get into this discussion. So like, he loves Beachbody, but I'm not gonna, A, as a guy, I don't usually recruit guys. But B, I'm not gonna like get into an argument on Instagram about headhunting and what coaching is. Like if he has a perception, like it's hard for me to change that. So like things like that, like don't try to like change people's views. If they say something negative about Beachbody, then just keep on going. And something that I think, I'm sure Jordan's covered it with you, for Tone It Up people, a lot of times they're like, oh, I really love Tone It Up. Like, I don't want to switch to Beachbody. And I always say, like, you can do both. Tone It Up nutrition and fitness is very similar to 21 Day Fix. But Tone It Up doesn't have, I always like ask them, but I already know the answer. Tone It Up doesn't have the ability to make fitness a business. Like, you can love Tone It Up all you want. You can go to the retreats. You can buy their apparel. You can drink their really crappy protein powder. But there's no way for someone to coach with Tone It Up. So you're just wasting money with that. So with Beachbody, you can do Beachbody and Tone It Up together. That can be like their niche market for like their coaching. You can still do Tone It Up. I have a coach that's going to Summit and going to the TIU retreat. But they can make a business out of it. So I say that to Tone It Up people, and some people you're just never going to get. They're diehard TIU and they'll never switch. But there's a lot of people that realize with Tone It Up, they love fitness and they love what Tone It Up's done for them, but they can't make that into a business. There's no at all coaching opportunity with TIU. I know that, but I ask them. I don't like say to them, there's no coaching opportunity. I say, like, when they're like, oh, I'm not really interested, I love Tone It Up. I'm like, yeah, that's awesome that you love Tone It Up and you love fitness, but like, are you able to coach with that? And then they like kind of realize it while talking to you that like they can't. That makes sense.
All right. Thank you so much, Caroline. You are awesome. I want to take a picture before we all leave. So
everyone takes pictures. It's like the key thing.
Yeah. All right. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Wait. Oh, there you go. Couldn't remember what button was. All right, guys. Thanks everyone for logging on. I think you can all agree this is awesome. Caroline is like the queen of Instagram. So if you have any questions for her, just let me know and I can shoot them over to her. It's Dad, rich. It's like she barks like someone's breaking in to kill us, and her dad's walking up. Like, oh my god. Yeah. So thank you, Caroline. We really appreciate it, and hopefully everyone learns something awesome. I always learn new things from Caroline. I'm constantly asking her questions about Instagram. And she's the one who got me into TIU. One of my newest coaches is a TIU girl. Like, I didn't even know what I actually asked her. I was like, what is this TIU? I haven't watched that game. So let me know if you guys have any questions for her, and I will follow her up with questions over the next couple of days. But yeah. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.